Okay, so I know that you are probably scrounging the internet right now looking for beauty salon marketing tips. Now, I'm going to tell you that this video is not for those that want that typical fluffy music type of information, okay? This is going to be real, this is going to be raw, this is for people that are looking to scale in 2025. Now, I'm not a salon owner, but I service salon owners. And my main role for them is marketing. Okay. So I can tell you what's working and I will tell you what's working in 2025. And the biggest thing that I want you to understand is that, and the biggest takeaway that you should also understand from any marketing video, just to save you time, to save you resources, and to save you a lot of heartache, okay, and fewer upsells, because that's what people do all the time, is making sure that you're listening to someone that has scaled in your budget. That is the biggest hurdle that you have to climb when you are listening to a person that's going to give you tips and strategies. Now, I'll tell you a story, especially this is particularly for my solo barber and beauty professionals that have a booth or are working for someone and that have aspirations to get their own salon and build their own businesses. I had a braider call me the other day saying, "Hey, Odia, I heard you do good work. Da, 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 da. This is my information. I am actually a braider for a salon. I want to transition to starting my own thing. Can you help me market my business?" I said, "Okay, first tell me the name of your business that you work for so I can make sure it's not a client, and then we'll see if we can partner together." She said, "Okay." I said, "Check, not a client. So now let's talk about what you want to do." "All right, I want to own my own salon. I want to build it up from home, build my clientele, all that good stuff." I said, "Okay, now, are you willing to do X, Y, and Z? And if you are not willing to do X, Y, and Z, then we cannot partner." And I said, "You have to commit to that or else we will cut off the service." And she said, "Adia, like, I think I can do it." I said, "Okay, I'm just letting you know, and I'm going to give you a bit of time to think about it. Because I want you to understand whether you're a solo professional or you have franchisees or whatever it is, there are things that you have to do in order to get from one point to the next. Okay? You're not going to just hire somebody and just relieve yourself of everything. There are still things that you will need to do to commit to in order for you to get to that next level. So this video, we're going to break it down in 3 steps, okay? In revenue buckets, not in whatever they're selling you online, okay? So here we are, beauty salon marketing tips. Now, I'm going to talk first to the solo professionals, but this is going to be useful to anyone. But first, let's talk to the solo professionals that are aspiring to get to the next level. So here, you are in this bucket. Why? Because you are building the foundation. And at the foundation, you don't want to look too far ahead because you're going to get overwhelmed. And you're going to start buying things that don't pertain to you because you skipped this level. Okay? Nobody that gets to this level gets to skip this level. Okay? And if you want this to be a lasting business, I want you to think about it like this. Imagine I give you a Ferrari. Okay? I said, "Hey, this is your Ferrari. You earned this Ferrari. Now, let's go ahead and get you to drive the Ferrari." And you get in the Ferrari, and you're like, "Odia, it's stick shift. I cannot get in this Ferrari. I cannot drive this Ferrari because it's stick shift." And I tell you, "Oh yeah, everybody has this Ferrari. A Ferrari doesn't come in manual. It only comes in like a stick shift. So you have to learn how to drive it. Everybody has to learn how to drive a stick shift. And it takes everybody 6 months to learn how to drive in a stick shift. This is something that you can't skip." And you say, "Okay, I have this nice Ferrari," and you have it, but you can't drive it until you get those 6 months of focus and practice on learning how to drive a stick shift. That is what it requires at every level. So if you think about the next level, like, "Oh, this is Ferrari," you need to do the non-negotiables. Nobody can skip those 6 months if you want to get to the next level successfully. And I tell you that to protect you from having people sell you all these things and they don't work, especially in 2025. So let's go ahead and get started with the fundamentals. So for every business, there are two fundamental things that you need to have, especially at the solo level. Now, every level, this is why I said if you're a salon owner or you're a franchise owner, etc., you got to listen to before, because if you skipped anything, that's probably what's holding you back in your business. Okay? So, the first thing is you have to do the hard work. Okay. The hardest work is going to be establishing that base, getting that 10 to 15 clients that you need to be like, whoo, okay, I have an actual business. I can reinvest a little bit, but it's the passing out flyers, it's the talking to people from your church, it's the talking to people from your community, it's the hard labor that no one can escape. No matter how much money you have, if you want to build a lasting business in this space, you have to do the hard work. Okay? You cannot rely on ads and all that stuff that they're telling you, because it's just not going to work. Okay? And trust me, we're scaling. We are in charge of marketing. So this is what's happening in 2025. Okay? We have clients at every level in this pyramid, and we're helping them grow. Okay? So now you have to establish that book of business, the solid book of business. The next thing is your Google My Business profile. The reason why it's not social media, it's not whatever platform, it is your Google My Business profile. Why? Because when people are looking to shop, okay, they are not going directly to Instagram. Okay, because the competition on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook is very saturated. And what you'd have to do, given your return, will be just too large for you. Okay, so you can't swallow that when you're full time doing hair, because it takes too much to grow on those platforms. All right, so Google My Business is a platform that honors the newbies. And the reason why it honors newbies is it gives people a fair shot if you do a few things. And the first thing that you can do is get reviews. So that review status, as you grow your business, as you get this established, this book of, this base clientele, when you go to Google My Business, people are going to be like, oh, okay, this is a new business, but at least you got 5-star reviews, right? So that little review count, that those 10 reviews that you have, even if you have a small number, because they're really high, right? They're the clients that love you. You are still going to be able to get some visibility. And here's the thing. You're not fighting people that are looking for awareness or other things. They're looking directly for your services. So you want to be in a pool of people that are looking for your services in a place that's not as competitive. Okay? So that's higher return on your time investment. All right. Now keep that in mind, because those are the two things that you can do. The nice to haves are social media. The nice to haves are social media, but that is not everything, because those do not build books of business. Now, I'm going to talk to my salon owners. Whether you are a salon owner and you don't have any, you have chairs, but you need to lease them out, rent them out, or you're a salon owner and you have a full book of business, or a full book of your all of your chairs are full with contractors, etc. Here's the thing that you want to focus on. Okay, now you, as a business, you're in a really good spot, because you've already done the 6 months that's necessary, right? From here to here. You've probably been in business for years, but here's what you have to do. You have to double down on Google My Business, because you have a revolving door of clients, and those clients are not trained to give you reviews. You have got to get in front of Google to allow it to basically take what you're doing offline online. So you already have a thriving business offline. You already have clients that love you, that come, that service you for years. You are missing hundreds of people when your Google My Business profile is not optimized. And here's why I say that. For the same reason before. The people on Google My Business are looking to purchase, and there are thousands of them in your city for the services that you provide. So the reason why Google Maps is not really talked about is because it doesn't have that much competition. But that's why I said I'm not a salon owner, I'm a marketer. So good marketers are able to get you in front of the trend so that way when it really becomes a trend and everybody's talking about it, you already got yours. And that's why I keep stressing to everybody, Google My Business, okay? Because it's going to give you visibility when people are ready to buy. And that's going to give you the highest ROI, okay? Now, there's a few things that you have to do. So I'm going to ask you guys, join our workshop because it's literally going to tell you everything that you need to do from start to finish, okay? So you will have a good idea of how you can get those first few leads from Google and get that algorithm selling for you, all right? Or you can just continue to scrounge the internet, but it's the best thing, the best time you'll invest, and it's free, okay? So, Google My Business. The second thing that you need to be doing is social. So when it comes to social media, you cannot do it like most people will tell you, okay? Because in 2025, the algorithms are evolving. So what you needed to compete in 2024, it's 7 to 10 times infinitely harder to break through that social algorithm like Instagram, like TikTok, like Facebook, okay? Because those platforms are mature. They're matured social platforms. So if you are going to do social, okay? And I actually learned this from a client. I was like, oh, you're not really doing social, but you're doing social. Understand that algorithms love referrals. They don't love self-promotion. So forget about hiring all the people that you think you need to hire, right? Unless you're going to the franchise level and you've done the Google My Business and you've maximized on it. But when it comes to social, just have your clients post, okay? Do it that way. And just remember, you're in the algorithm mindset. Algorithms love referrals. That's why with Google Maps, we talk about reviews all the time. With social media, we talk about having your clients post, okay? Algorithms love referrals, all right? Now, let's go ahead and go to the franchise owners. And if you're one of my franchise owners, this is going to be, just a bit more meatier than most, but you really need to do these things to set your franchise apart, okay? Because we're helping these people just dominate the market. This group, for the people that we choose to sign in this group, and then this group. Oh, well, let's do a smiley face because I don't like X's like that. Okay, we're helping these groups grow up the ladder. So we're going to help this group grow up to franchisees. So what that means for you, if you are a franchise, your number one thing is depth. Okay, this depth is what you want. Okay, now there's one thing that you should be maximized on. Okay, so you should be already maximized on Google Business. You should already be maximized on social. Now you need depth. And what we mean by depth is personalization. The thing that we love most, that I love most when I call a restaurant, and I know they're a big chain, is that they know my order. Oh my God, you know my order. Good. You know that every Thursday I'm going to get X, Y, and Z. That is how you make a big company feel small. So the two platforms that you really need to double down are your email marketing and your text message marketing. Okay, so your marketing your personalization when it comes to those things is what's going to be something that sets you apart. I cannot think about the last time that I left a franchise and they've understood what I shopped for and they understood how to pre-nurture me. The only platform that does this in some capacity, right, is going to be Amazon. Because Amazon will know what you purchased and then send you sometimes recommendations. But we are moving into the age of hyper personalization. That means everyone wants to feel like you really care for me. Okay? And the more that you can do that, the more your customers will shop with you. And there's a lot that we can do with franchise owners. I mean, you guys really have a lot of market share, but you have to be willing to not be comfortable. I know that that's the biggest challenge. You're like, hey, I've already done the hard work. I'm franchised, but you have to go deep. You need to go deep. And we are transitioning a few of our people from this level to the franchise level. And we're owning that marketing, right? They started with us here and now they're coming here. And so in order for us, we're telling you what we're doing is making sure that we are deeper than everyone else. Now y'all can take this and go and make a lot of money. Um, just make sure you call me if you need help, but and call our company and use our people because we're doing this every single day. But these are the key things that you need to be aware of at every single level. Okay, you don't need everything else. You literally just need this pyramid. If you can just remember this for 6 months and focus on this is for 6 months. Focus on this as much as you can. And if you want to franchise, then you go ahead and do that. But at least you got to give this step for 6 months. Okay? And everybody wants to skip it. Everybody doesn't want to feel broke at the beginning. Everybody wants to look rich and not be rich, or they want to go get loans and then you end up looking rich and then your bank account is suffering for it. The good thing is I'm a small business owner myself and I have had the struggle of all of those, right? Or I've seen the struggle. I've marketed for those struggles, whether you're a franchise, a local salon that has, one shop, and then my solo beauty professionals. I've been in my own business at every stage except for the franchise stage, but I've marketed for that. And so I tell you all of this not to give you fluff, not to give you all of the feel good stuff, but to really tell you what's working in 2025 and what is going to work beyond. Okay. So you have two options. Let us help you. You can do it yourself. But either way, if you're a salon owner, you're a franchise owner, you're a solo beauty professional, reach out. I'll send you a workshop that we've recorded. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Most people really enjoy it. But you will learn the fundamentals of an algorithm, especially Google Maps, because those are the two ones that a lot of people struggle on. Okay, even some of my franchise owners that we have on our client list, we're still working towards them building up their Google My Business profile, which is incredible because it means there's a lot of opportunity there. All right, guys. So we'll see you on the next one. Bye.